Evening. I'm Kim Jacobs, and welcome to this evening's broadcast on how we're going to provide updates on this evening regarding the coronavirus, how to deal with some stress that's associated with this whole scare that's sweeping the world literally, and how to utilize some of the resources that are available to you. So on this evening, we have quite a bit that we're going to get packed in, but it's going to be very informative. My goal is to be able to provide you with a one-stop kind of shop to get all of the updates, well, not all, but as many updates as I can provide in our time together, so that you don't have to go and get updates from every other resource. By all means, do your own due diligence and seek your own information, because it's lots of information out there to choose from. But definitely, if you come here, I'm going to give you the latest and the greatest that I've been able to ascertain, okay? And you all, any of you that watch my show, The Kim Jacobs Show, you know my philosophy is prayer does change things. So I encourage you to pray and to ask God to intervene and to just change how things are happening here, the trajectory of how things are happening in our world. And just maybe through his kindness and his mercy, he will be able to allow some reprieve as we're going through this critical mass crisis. I kind of merged words together there, but as we're dealing with this COVID-19 pandemic status outbreak. So as we get started on this evening, if you come in and have questions, please don't hesitate to ask your questions. I actually may already know the answer from one of my forms of research. Now, I'm not the expert here. I'm actually providing you with the resources that are from the experts that I've went and did my own research to pull it all together and provide it to you. So in that regard, I know I am the balance doctor, and I am the balance doctor expert from how do you balance all different aspects of life. That's something that God has gifted me to do. And so when I share with you anything from a balance perspective, it's definitely something that I've either lived, I've done significant amount of work by doing it myself and walking in those shoes. And I've also worked with mentors, counsel people, and lots of different walks of life and wearing many different hats. So hence I've been the balance doctor, with people seeking all kinds of coaching advice from me on different entities of their lives so that they can keep their sanity. And so I really am a big believer to practice what you preach. And so I actually have walked in a lot of the shoes of the people that I help along this journey. Okay, so as we get started tonight, let's go ahead and jump right in. I would like to start by giving you a resource that I was privy to. And Sean, thank you for giving me this information. Sean Hall provided it to me. In case anyone needs this, United Way has a COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. United Way has a COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. They will help with bills, with rent, food, bills, rent, and food. You can call 1-866-211-9966. Again, 1-866-211-9966. And provide your zip code, and then they will give you a list of local agencies that are going to provide assistance to help meet your needs during this crisis. And you can post this information and share it. This is something that I received in my text message, and I wanted to make sure I share it with you, that United Way is offering some type of economic relief fund assistance for bills, rent, and food. And the phone number, once again, is 866-211-9966. Okay, so make sure you have that resource documented. According to UCHealth.org, psychologist Justin Ross is the source where I'm getting this information. How to reduce worry and anxiety regarding this whole coronavirus. Number one, the reason that people are experiencing anxiety is because of unpredictability, according to him. People are simply not sure of what will happen next. And number two, the lack of control, because we literally don't have direct control over what's happening, then that puts people in a position of being uncertain, not sure, and it scares people when they are not sure what's the outcome. So lack of control is what's causing oftentimes a lot of anxiety for people as well. And if any of these relate to you, or you can feel this in your own spirit, then by all means put some comments or share it with your friends. And you may know other people that are experiencing some of the things that we're talking about on the Kim Jacobs Show here today. So make sure other people get this information. Number one is unpredictability, not sure what will happen next. And so that's causing anxiety and worry. Number two, the lack of control, where we don't have the wherewithal ourselves to be able to directly control the situation. And number three, threats to people or things that we value. Now, obviously, with the coronavirus and the amount of people that it's attacking so quickly, is attacking people that we genuinely care about, we love, we adore. We're like, oh my goodness, this has hit home. Whatever the case may be for you and your family and friend circle and church members and people that you love and care about, when it starts hitting into those environments, it's definitely something that's a threat to the people that we love and value. So according to psychologist Justin Ross, he actually says some of the solutions that he recommends is to have set times that you get updates regarding the coronavirus. Don't just like spend your every waking moment flooding your information with your memory and your mind with all of this information, because you can get inundated and overwhelmed. So what he recommends is having a set time that you're going to get your updates. Okay, what time throughout today is going to be my day and time to get updates regarding COVID-19. So you guys could actually just say, you know what, when I see Kim come on and turn on my notifications, and when I see her come on, I'm going to go ahead and listen in. And again, I share with you that I am just providing information from the experts. I'm not the coronavirus expert in that regard, but I am the balance doctor, and I'm definitely the expert in that area when it comes to how to balance different aspects of your life without losing your mind, and how to keep your sanity in the midst of you doing so. So part of what would help me keep my sanity is to be able to know information in a one-stop shop kind of situation versus having to go through 60 different sources before I can finally get all of the information I want to know that's relevant to me as a mother. And so that's what I'm attempting to do for you, is to make sure that you can come here and you can actually get things that I believe would be relevant to you. Every day I've been sharing information, like all of you know already that in your local school districts, there are different schools. All you have to do is plug in your school district and they will provide you with locations of where breakfast and lunch, and then even some schools are providing an additional snack or meal to go home for children for the dinner time as well. So that's a great service. For me as a mother, I would want to know that. What time frames are they offering it? And I shared with you on last evening that it's ranging sometimes between like 10:30 to 12:30. Check with your own local area to determine what time the schools are providing those meals to your children. But people that I've checked in with in different areas throughout the country, they're not even having to always get out of their car. So it's like a drive-by situation in many schools around the country, where you can literally drive up, say the number of children, they give you your hot meals and snacks or whatever they're going to give you, and you keep it moving. So it's a really good resource. So psychologist Justin Ross says that you want to have a set time that you get your updates on a daily basis so you're not overwhelmed with information. Control what we can control. Only try to focus on controlling what we are able to control. And from a balanced perspective, what we can control are the things that we are being advised from the media to do, such as washing our hands properly. That's something that we are able to control. So every day, making sure multiple times a day you're washing your hand sanitizing, you're making sure that you do it according to the way that they've instructed you to do it, which is scrubbing your fingernails into the palm of your hand and making sure that you actually wash your thumb and your forefingers. And I've demonstrated this, I think, on every video. You want to make sure that you're going like that to make sure that you are officially getting your nail beds clean as well. And then taking the soap and circling around your thumb and your forefinger, okay? Make sure that you self-quarantine. This is something, again, that we have control over. So if we're worried and stressed because of the things we can't control, we can control how much we're exposing ourselves to the general public, how much we're exposing ourselves to groups larger than 10, which we already know right now, based on the laws of the land, we're not supposed to be doing that. And even if you are the most spiritual being, which I am big on supporting and loving on my Lord and Savior, and I honor and I represent him in every aspect that I can in my life. So what I do also know is that we're required to abide by the laws of the land. So make sure that we honor what's being shared with us. Not gathering in groups of larger than 10 or more. So guess what? That's something, according to psychologist Justin Ross. The information that I just shared with you came from uchealth.org, and that was psychologist Justin Ross, how to reduce worry and anxiety while dealing with the coronavirus. That was some good information from a balanced perspective. Make sure that you breathe was one of his other tips, to breathe. Many times we go through the day, and how often do we really take time to stop and take just a good deep breath where you are officially like taking it all in and exhaling. And he recommends that you do that 3 times a day minimum, at least 3 times a day, and 5 minutes at a time when you do this deep breathing. And that is going to help change how you feel on the inside of your body as well. And then he recommends enjoying outdoor exercising, walking. This is stuff that's recommended by everyone, not just by the psychologist. Anybody that you read pretty much an article about from regarding how to deal with your stress level and the coronavirus, they're all recommending that you get some outdoor activity and fresh outdoor air, walking, exercising, whether it's running, jogging, or just walking at a brisk pace. But getting a moment to get outside is a strong recommendation there. Okay, on to some more news. So from a balanced perspective, many of us want to know too, well, who do we even know that's getting this disease, and how most of us watch all kinds of different shows, and we have those celebrities that we become fond of, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I love Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, that's like Tom Hanks, that's the best ever. It's like, run, Forrest, run, you can do it, because he was the epitome and embodied the fact of there are no limitations that can be put on our lives. When he broke free from those braces that were holding his legs, and all he had to do was just run, Forrest, run, run, Forrest, run. And he ran as fast as he could until all of the shackles and the chains came off. But when we hear that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, his wife, had contracted coronavirus, they're now home recovering, they've been released from the hospital. That touches home for people like me that watch Forrest Gump, and people like you that know and love these kind of celebrities. When Idris Elba, when he got diagnosed with coronavirus, we're like, whoa, wait a minute now, this is going too far. This is getting too crazy whenever you hear things like that. But let me go on to tell you a few other celebrities that we all may know and love that have also contracted the disease, which is New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton tested positive for COVID-19. Andy Cohen, who's the host of Watch What Happens Live, he actually did a big thing on Instagram, and he talked about self-quarantining and how he found out that he contracted the virus. The Bachelor star Colton Underwood, he also has been diagnosed with coronavirus, and I know one of the Game of Thrones, I don't have his name right in front of me, one of the actors with Game of Thrones also has been diagnosed. So there are people that are celebrities. This has no respecter of person, whether it's a celebrity or whether it's a person that we know in our family or in our church or in our community. This disease is really trying to overtake stuff. But again, whoever your source is and whoever you believe in as your higher being, pray with everything within you and ask your higher being to change the situation. I'm asking God to intervene and to just wipe this virus completely away from this face of this earth, get it out of here as quickly as it came. We rebuke it and we want it to be gone. And we're asking it, and the way that I'm asking it is in Jesus' name, because that's what I believe. And so I can only express what I believe, and I'm proud to believe that. And so my Lord and Savior definitely in the Word of God talks about, if you're ashamed of me, then pretty much I'll be ashamed of you. So I dare not be ashamed of what I believe. And people are always able to share their beliefs in life, and people screaming from the mountaintops what they believe. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, can you believe this one's a Scientologist, this one's a Buddhist, this one's, Jehovah's Witness, whatever your belief is, you hang your soul on it. I'm not judging one way or the other. I'm just, all I'm doing is speaking my own belief, okay? So one of Vice President Pence's staffers tested positive for coronavirus, so keep that in mind. And 2 people linked with the Pentagon has also been confirmed positive. And these are people that have come in to do work in the Pentagon and contracted the disease. So these are people that I found out throughout the day that do have the virus. And I call it the virus, but it's coronavirus, and it's by no means any joking matter. In New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, they have all joined with New York and California to actually start ordering residents to stay at home. So now the number of states that are saying that it is mandatory for people to officially stay home have now grown even more, with New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, and California have all agreed. Go home and stay home, relax, catch up on some movies, read your word, do whatever it is that you can do, make some fun time with your family, do some projects that are going to be memorable and lifelong memories that you're creating together because you're now in your home together. Do something in the house, but try not to do too much where you're congregating with greater than 10 people. New Orleans mayor also recently issued a stay-at-home mandate. So in New Orleans, the mayor issued a stay-at-home mandate. And one other thing that I was privy to today, and I've gotten several communications about it, is that in North Carolina and South Carolina, I don't 100% know, but the sources are very legitimate sources that say that by the end of the weekend, we will be possibly, and I'm only putting a caveat, possibly, but most likely going into a stay-at-home situation. So make sure that if you need to go out and get any additional grocery items, or you need to stock up on anything that can last you for a few weeks, go ahead and do that. Get some gas in your car and make sure that you're all gassed up because you don't know what places are going to be open if we are in a shelter in place or stay at home situation. So keep those things in mind. If you're a mother, I'm a mother of 5 children, it is imperative to me that I don't be in the house and can't provide for my children. That is so necessary and important. And I know I'm speaking to any mother out there that we want that not to be the case, that we have any problems in taking care of our families when we're home and we're going to be in the house with them. FDA is cracking down on companies that are unauthorized to do the testing kits. They are actually going around and providing fake testing kits throughout the country. They are officially cracking down on those kind of situations, and they do not want that to happen. So the FDA is looking for any companies that's running around doing their own self-testing situations. They're opposed to that, and it is against the law according to what I've been able to identify. 18,170 cases have now been confirmed with coronavirus of patients that have coronavirus in the United States, and so far 241 have died in the United States. Now the information that I get from here is usually from the New York Times and from CNN. So all of the information that I'm sharing with you are mostly from those sources. If it's additional ones, I share with you. Alabama's governor has activated up to 100 National Guardsmen to assist in response to the COVID-19 situation. So he's actually activated the National Guard to come and assist because it's becoming to be too much in his particular area in Alabama. Miami Beach, finally, because I mean, I told you yesterday, I saw some footage. I was like, okay, this is getting crazy. These people are still on the beach, just having fun, like nothing's happening. I'm like, okay, I believe in fun, but I also believe in abiding by the law of the land. And they said, get off of the beach. And so now, officially, Miami Beach has ordered all hotels and restaurants to shut down and establish a curfew. So basically, if you want to be on the beach, you be staying there all night, because you're not going to be staying in the hotel when you go in to draw off, which I think is wise for them to be able to say, this is it. We're shutting down all of these tourist sites because we don't want people to do something that we're asking them not to do, but they're not honoring it at all anyway. So that's not good. Who said hello? Hey, Andrew, how are you? Mr. Prentice, he played Mr. Prentice alongside me in a play called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and we were acting together. I started acting with my son Jeremiah, who is really the actor, and he has this really nice resume, actually, so you got to see his resume that he created. But as a part of my bonding experience with him, again, talking from a balance perspective, as a mother, I started doing some creative things with my children to bond with them. So Jayla was heavily into dance since she was 4 years old, and I started doing a dance routine with her as an adult dancer in her children's dance class, and it was a beautiful experience. My son Jeremiah started acting, so I said, let me go and audition for a few roles and see if I get them. And guess what? Instead of sitting in the car, I was able to get a lead role in the play Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which Sidney Poitier and Katharine Hepburn played in the 1960s. Well, I played the mother of the doctor, Mary Prentice, and Andrew Roberts played my husband in that particular play, and it was called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So, hey, Andrew, Demona DeBrew, how are you? Thanks for all the information, very helpful and informative. I'm so glad that you're finding it to be helpful. Very, very glad. Okay, tax filing. This is critical information to know. Let me share with you. Hold on. Tax filing has been moved from April 15th to July 15th. And so make sure you make note of that has actually been extended from April 15th to July 15th. People may have observed, many people may have heard the heated comments that took place today between President Trump and the reporter, Peter Alexander. And the question that Peter Alexander, the reporter, was asking is, do you feel that you can reassure Americans that may be frightened? And he went in and was like, you know what? I just have a problem with you asking that question. So if you want to see that debate, I can't really reenact it properly. Feel free to go on to CNN and you'll be able to catch what happened between President Trump and that reporter. And then I know people have been chiming in, giving their professional opinions of whether that debate should have occurred and really what it means for Americans. So I'm not going to give too much feedback on that, mainly because right now I'm having a hot flash. So I don't want to get, if I get too worked up, I'll get overheated more. It's my age and I'm going into my whole menopause thing. So anyway, the FDA will not be cracking down on companies that make the hand sanitizer. So they are going to show flexibility with companies that would like to make hand sanitizer to help with this major outbreak that is kind of hard to keep up with the amount of hand sanitizers that's out there. So actually they're okay with companies making that hand sanitizer. The FDA commissioner, Dr. Stephen, what's his name? Maybe Dr. Stephen, I wrote it wrong, I don't know. Anyway, his name is Dr. Stephen something. Maybe Han or something, never mind, just Dr. Stephen. He says that they are allowing flexibility because they don't have enough hand sanitizer to go around. So if there are companies that's looking to assist with the hand sanitizer creation and development, feel free to do so. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a brief commercial break so I can wipe my face. I know you guys can still hear me, but since I can't go to commercial break for real, I thought I'd just go to my own commercial break. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I just make my own commercial break. Ain't need to not have no commercial break if you need one, right? Voila! All right, okay. I'm back. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. The Florida Keys will not be accepting visitors starting Sunday night. So where normally a lot of tourists go to the Florida Keys area, they are officially going to stop accepting tourists coming into the Florida Keys area beginning Sunday night. The World Health Organization has distributed 1.5 million coronavirus lab tests around the world at this point. So they're constantly trying to keep up with the demand of the need for testing kits around the world. Oh, I think I've been providing a good amount of information. So this is my goal, is to be able to make sure you have all of the information you can in this kind of one-stop shop area. And there's so much information out there that you can get overwhelmed. Let's read some of the comments. I think there's a way, oh, you can pause. Yeah, there is. I know. I've done that before. But one time I did that and then ended the whole broadcast. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just do it a different way. But there is a way. Yes, Damona, thank you. Hey, Kim, thanks for all the information. Okay, you said that. Love you, Kim. Hey, okay, thank you. Love you all. Love you guys too. Wow. July 15th. Yes. To be able to have your taxes now have to be submitted by July 15th is really a big deal versus April 15th standard cutoff. So now here's another big question that people want to know: if they can get sick leave from a company. And again, I try to find topics that I think would be relevant from a balance perspective, especially with families and people are trying to figure out what are they doing, and they're at work, their children are now out of school. How do I function? Am I allowed to even get sick leave from my company? I recommend that you check with your own individual companies that you work with and find out what their policies are on sick leave during this particular time. But I did find out from a company called Fast Company, and they were listing information on their website. It says, find out if your company has a sick leave policy, and paid time off is what they're calling it. There's no federal law requiring sick leave. However, House Democrats have proposed a bill to address coronavirus outbreak that would require companies to make 14 days of paid sick leave time available. That is huge. If you can get 14 days to be home with your children, paid sick leave because of this coronavirus outbreak, that would be very helpful to families across the country. Sick leave may be available in areas that are declared public health emergencies, or if your child's school is closed, they have to stay home, or because of any type of quarantine situation. Those are some of the things that qualify for whether you would be able to get family sick leave or paid leave from your company. But check with them for sure, because there are some states there are some areas like Michigan, New Jersey, San Diego, and Chicago. They're all states that anticipated a problem like school closings due to public health crisis situations. So they already have it in place. So if you live in Michigan, New Jersey, San Diego, or Chicago, you should be able to check with your company, and they've already factored in some of these type of potential situations that could ever arise in life, which is amazing, actually. Paid sick leave can be used in the event of such emergencies. So it can be used in case of these kinds of emergencies in those states. And check with your own individual companies to find, there are lots of comments, to find out what they offer. But if you are, or your family member becomes seriously ill, there's also a possibility that you could be eligible for up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave, which is under the Family and Medical Leave Act. So that's where they're not paying you, but you still can take the time off and then return back to your job. Let me see some of the questions and comments right quick. I know someone that had a court date because they were issued an eviction. The date was extended because the courts are closed. Would they still have to move out, or the eviction or evictions canceled? Any information on that? The question, hopefully you just heard, but the question is, there was a person that had a court date and they were issued an eviction. Will the actual eviction be extended since the court is closed? Is there any information on that? Yes, there is a ton of information on that. I don't have the exact site in front of me, but court cases around the country, you have to check with your local courthouse, and they will let you know how many days they will be closed. I know in Mecklenburg County, I think it was like about 30 days minimum that it will be closed, and they'll be notifying people that have court cases. But in your local counties, wherever you are throughout the world, well, in this case, throughout the nation, if you're here on this broadcast, make sure you check with your local courthouse to find out. And they are willing to answer your questions. If it's about an eviction, having that specific case number when you call and asking them about your particular case is very important. And if the court is closed, then typically whatever they're focusing on has also been postponed. One other thing I'll share with you is I found out earlier in the week that evictions and foreclosures have all been, according to what I was able to research, have been postponed as well for a set number of months, for some specific time. I don't want to say the exact time and not have it right in front of me, but I will tell you that evictions and foreclosures are being pushed back where they cannot happen, according to the research that I did the other day. So that was a very good question. Let's see. Any other questions? Okay. If you have not gotten your copy of Extreme Balance Makeover, which is a book that I wrote, and when I wrote this book, I had no idea that it would be so helpful in a time such as this. It's filled with 8 chapters, and it talks about signs of imbalance, how to balance your time on God's term, how to prioritize to maximize, how to be married with children, how to be a woman that's single with children, how to balance like drama in your life. I think this is some drama going on right now. How to balance life on a budget, and all kinds of tips in here. How to balance your stress level, how to say no, and while you're trying to balance it all, how to balance networking and business, and how to balance positive in-law relationships, and how to balance having a family pet in your life, and all kinds of things. So you name it, it's in here. And my book is available on Amazon for $14.99, and on Amazon, it's there for $14.99 with a Kindle download. But right now, what I'm doing is an electronic version that I can send to you, and I'm offering it for $9.99, which is literally 33% discount off of the price if you were just to go to Amazon and get it. I'll send it to you electronically, and it'll download right to your it's an iBook, ebook, EPUB version, and it'll download to your device, and you will be able to have it all right at your fingertips while you're at home, and you can read the book and apply it immediately starting today. So the way that you can do that, you can Cash App to Kim Jacobs Inc., or you can also I'll put all of my information right in the description there, so you'll know how to go about sending a PayPal if you wanted to PayPal to Kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. And once I get your information, make sure you include your email. I'll send you the electronic download of Extreme Balance Makeover. I also am the author in a collaborative project with 2 other books that are coming out on the market really, really soon, which I'm excited. So pre-orders are happening now. One is How Do I Fight My Battles? And it's a spiritual book of women that fight battles and how they've overcome those battles. And that's a book that you definitely gonna want to get a copy of. And I'm one of the contributing authors to that book. And then the other one is Women of War, and how we have peace in the midst of storms. Woo! These books, I'm telling you, they will change your lives. The women that are contributing authors in these books their stories are, woo! You will not be the same when you hear those stories at all. So I'll be able to have that on my Facebook page, and you'll know exactly how to get your pre-order copy of that as well. Also, there's a survival code book download that is available by Clarissa Lee, and it in there talks about pneumonia and different components of how to stay healthy during this time of crisis with the coronavirus outbreak. It's very inexpensive. I think it's like $2.99 for the download. You definitely want to get that, and that information is in several of my posts as well, and you'll be able to get that. It's a survival code by Clarissa Lee. Many organizations are seeking donations now at this particular time, and I want to thank CWA Prestige Worldwide. They donated to Gabe's Heart Foundation, and with their donated dollars, we were able to help several people that were in crisis. One man was in a wheelchair, couldn't get out, and so was able to cash app some funds over to someone right in his neighborhood. I don't know him at all, but we were able to send some funds over, and they got him bread and water and stuff, and he was so grateful. There are so many people that need help during this time. If you donate to Gabe's Heart Foundation, we will help the people that we can help with the amount of funds that you provide. So please feel free to go to Cash App, Gabe's Heart, $ Gabe's Heart, or you can go to gabesheart.org and donate right on the online portal, or you can call Cassandra Davis and she will take a credit card payment for Gabe's Heart. And the funds, we're going to acknowledge your company. Whatever your company name is, you tell us how you want to be acknowledged, and we will acknowledge your organization for donating. Let me see. Cassandra is 704-620-2786, 704-620-2786, and let her know you would like to do a credit card payment of a donation to Gabe's Heart Foundation, and it will bless somebody. It's going to bless people. And it's already been, the donations that are coming in have already been blessing people. So keep those things in mind. There are lots of other organizations, federal organizations that are out there that are doing some significant, way more than what obviously Gabe's Heart Foundation has. So by all means, you can choose any of those organizations that are very reputable groups that are nationwide federal programs that are helping people across the country that have significant need. So any other questions? Let's see. I'm really grateful for all of you that joined in tonight. And if you have any questions and things that you want me to find out some research on prior to me coming on, just inbox me or communicate with me, Kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, Kim@thebalancedoctor, and doctor is spelled out .tv. And I will make sure that I go to great extremes to actually have your answer when I come on. I can't think of anything else that I could think of right now. I'm excited that we are able to take that time with our family and our loved ones. You have to be able to look at the bright side and the positive side of everything. In everything, there's a learning lesson. And if we don't learn anything else right now, we learn the importance of getting good rest. We learn the importance of loving on your family and just showing those that are important to you how much they matter, how much they care, how important it is to find out what's important to somebody else. Like, what do they like to do instead of just what you like to do? So for me in my house, I'm getting the opportunity to learn about my children and what they're interested in and how fun things are for them and how to plant new I told you yesterday, we have all these seeds where we're going to do this big planting of vegetables, and that's a big to do because, I mean, you have like vegetables and fruit. So we have pumpkin and watermelon and peppers and spinach, and just a fun family thing to do. And who knew? I didn't even know that was something Jayla even really was wanting to do. But guess what? Through this experience, I found it out, and it's something we're going to really enjoy. Having a dance-a-thon where you just dance off and you know, have some silly fun time with your family. I know somebody on here, she does face painting. I can imagine y'all having like a face painting contest to see who's most gifted at the face painting. Elizabeth Lewis, you're on here. I see that. And you are like extremely gifted at face painting. So if you guys ever need face painting done, go to Elizabeth Lewis. I can guarantee you there are not too many more distinguished face painting experts than this woman. She is very gifted at being able to paint your face in a way that it looks like something I've never seen. Actually, I've never even seen it. I don't know who else exists that can do that. I'm sure there are other people, but I know Elizabeth Lewis, and she does a great job. And let's see who else is on here. Let me do some shout outs. I love just saying hello to people. Renee Scott. Hello, actually, my son Gabriel used to play with one of her sons on basketball. Elizabeth Lewis, I told you about her face painting and face art. Pastor Ray, Bishop Ray Langford, how are you? Who else? I don't know why I do that without my glasses because I can't even, I can't see without the glasses. Let me see. Ryan Dansby, how are you, Ryan? Crystal Gray, how are you, Crystal? Andrew Roberts and Damona DeBrew. And who else is on here? Lorraine Ridley, how are you and Mr. Ridley doing? Rayanne Smith, that's a big name, Rayanne Smith. Yes, I am Rayanne Smith. Jacoby, I love Jacoby's name too. Jacoby Ashford, Samantha Benson. Oh, Samantha. Actually, I'm going to be interviewing Samantha soon. Is that the person I was supposed to interview coming up? I'm sure it is. So Samantha has something that she's going to be offering the community, which I am excited about being able to interview her, and we'll put it out so that all of you can learn about her services that she's offering, especially at times like this, and the insurance and everything that she has from a back office perspective that can help you immediately. And so Samantha, I'm glad you got on so we can connect and schedule our time together. We can schedule it. We can schedule it anytime, sweetheart, because we got plenty of time to do it. So let's go ahead and do it and figure out how we can get it out to the people, okay? And I want to just say thank you to everyone that joined in tonight. If there's a specific topic that you would like for me to talk about, especially since you guys come on every day and hear me give these updates. Today we talked about how to reduce stress and worry during this whole coronavirus outbreak. If there are other topics that matter to you, I'm sure they matter to other people. So please don't hesitate to share those with me, and I will be honored to be able to provide you with that information. All right. Okay, so tomorrow morning? Okay, so tomorrow's Saturday. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna reach out to you via communication through my inbox, Samantha, but definitely by no later than Monday, we'll be able to do this for sure. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be no later than Monday. You'll be hearing from Samantha Benson on the Kim Jacobs Show, okay? And possibly tomorrow, but I don't know 100% yet. So I don't want to say something on this thing and then it doesn't happen. I'm not that person. All right, guys, have a great day. I am so glad that we connected. I love you guys, and I don't take that lightly to be able to serve in any capacity, because it's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve. You don't have to take the time to hear anything that I'm sharing. So for you to be on here, I'm very grateful and I'm honored. Please go and subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, go over. Just subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show, turn on your notifications, and share it with your friends and family. God bless you all. Stay encouraged, love on your families, and continue to pray and ask God to intervene and to, just as quickly as this thing happened, it go away. How about that? And to continue to strengthen those that are working with these patients. The healthcare professionals, they need our prayers. Like today, I had to go to the doctor's office to pick something up. And I was like, well, there's no way I'm getting out. And with all of this going on, I had my daughter in the car, but I didn't want to leave my daughter in the car. Well, guess what? The doctor's office, the nurse came out to my car and brought the medicine to me. I was like, get out of here. How selfless of an act is that? For her to come out of the doctor's office and bring it to me, to my car, in consideration of me having my daughter with cystic fibrosis. I thought that was something that is so noteworthy. And the more we have stories like that, the more we should share and celebrate each other, versus all of the news that's out sometimes where people are just tearing each other down. What about just simple, random acts of kindness of someone that's a nurse that I didn't even know that would be kind enough to just walk it out to the car to spare me from coming in? I think that speaks volumes. So God bless you all. Have a great night, and I will talk with you all tomorrow. But tomorrow, Saturday, yeah, I'll talk to you at some point. If it's not tomorrow, well, it's still Saturday. There's going to be some more updates, right? So I'm going to get on at some point. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.